And hello to all my Libra friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for October 2023. It is Libra season. Happy birthday to all my October Libras, and happy belated to all my September Libras. So today, Spirit has lined up for my great Libras. Four-corner spread. Four-corner spread is a great spread for general readings because it looks at those four main areas that people usually look at in tarot, which is your love corner, ever popular love corner, the work corner, financial money corner, and health corner. We're going to take a little stroll through all four of them, guys. And Libra is one of two of my signs for the month of October that are probably the most well off. And I know that because Spirit is less chatty with you guys. We're doing no extra spread at the end of your reading. What that means is that Spirit's like, hey, for the most part, Libra's checking in pretty good. Scott, give them a little bit of this four corners, these little four parts, and get them on their month. They're good to go. So we're going to do that today. Of course, we're going to do the standard stuff that I always do for you guys, the Rune Stone, the moon cycles. We're going to do some chemistry tracking toward the end of your reading to see what sign Libra's kicking good with in the month of October, and maybe what signs Libra should avoid. A little bit of turbulence in the signs there with chemistry tracking. And then we're going to conclude your reading with homily, which is a little spiritual pep talk done by yours truly. And let's get started, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what's going on and what I'm working with. And we are on and recording. So what I'm doing now, Libra, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. And you are. Now, Libra, if you guys are ready to have a fantastic October, hit that like button for me. Build up the energy in here. Libra's been falling off lately on the likes. We got to get that turned around here. Libra can't be letting them do you like that. So anyway, this is your work corner, Libras. Short and sweet. Still in view. Very good. Over here, this is Love Corner. Love Corner. Much bigger theme there. Completely blocked. Let's see if it stays that way momentarily. Down here is Financials. That's going to be a person. Staying there. And we'll go one more. See what the person's doing. Oh, another court card. Let's see if that's a person. They say no. Okay. And then over here, this is Health. There we go, short and sweet for health. So really, a couple big corners, but mostly a pretty simple month, just like I kind of forecasted ahead of time. So here we go. Let me yank this off and give you a closer view. Check my inverts real quick because I didn't do that before. I think we're in a good distribution. Oh, we just got to check that one corner, so I'll do that in a second here. I'll actually do that while I'm doing this. That again is your work corner. Down here, this will be financial. There's a page behind this king here, hiding behind there. That lets me know person. That night, though, that is not the person. We're using energy definition there. This is your health corner, short and sweet. And then this is the blocked love corner. Now I'm going to do a discard while I'm thinking about love there. And they do say they want the whole thing uprighted. So this is all going to turn around. The order has to stay the same. That part is very important in tarot. So it's actually going to look like this. This is your love corner. Now let's translate it. Let's get to work and decipher. All right, Libra, Libra. Okay, looking at my spots here for moon cycles, they don't really talk about timing here so much for my Libra. So I really do believe when we get to moon cycles, which I'm going to do that probably after health, you guys can use the new moon or the full moon, equal strength here. Both are available to you. There's not one that's really standing out. So let's start with that health corner, guys. Health corner. Probably the least popular out of the group, but hey, it's just short and sweet here for you anyway. But here we go. They show a lack of mothering here, nurturing, and this is more kind of actually mental health than physical health. You would expect them to talk about physical here, but what they're talking about is more your mental health. It's very important for a lot of my Libras to be thinking clearly here, being crisp, and very, getting the cobwebs out of your mentality here. So of course this can be dealing with stress and anxiety and anything that gets on your nerves, bothers you. Of course, this is stuff that is not easy to deal with, but you still got to deal with it because you don't want it to affect your physical health. And that's what they show here as being an option here. And we don't want that to happen. We want that to be a separate deal. We want our bodies to not be showing the ill effects of being stressed out or being, stuck in rush hour traffic Monday through Friday, or whatever it is that you are going through that is stress worthy or really hard on your head, right? So that's what they talk about first here. Really nurturing your mindset. So really, you got to do what you got to do here to get to a good kind of balance here, really. That Libra balance here cerebrally. I don't know if that's a word, just made that one up. But anyway, that's what they talk about here. And then they show the fastest card in the deck next. So you guys are going to be shifting here from your mental health very, very quickly in the month of October. Hopefully this is a positive shift. I view this mostly as such. But for those of you who have kind of a negative attitude toward this, or you just get stuck in the stress illusion, this could very fastly bring you down a nasty slope, and we don't want that. So they're showing quick energy here, so hopefully you can use this quickness that is going on, the busy activity and all these things that are going on, to nurture your mindset, nurture your mentality. That's the main thing they wanted to talk about there. So let's talk about those moon cycles real quick. I'm giving you guys the quickest moon cycles ever because they've only changed by a day, first of all, and I have a special surprise for you for the moon cycles next month. So this is just going to be a quick little rundown. So as we enter the month, we're in the full moon energy. Most people are viewing this reading early in October. So we right now, we are in the full moon energy from September, actually. So it's a good time to get stuff out of your life, sell things, purge things, wrap things up, break habits, all that stuff. When we get into more the middle of October, actually on the 14th, that is your new moon. That is the best time to bring new things into your life and manifest. Doesn't matter if it's new love, new work, new money, new health, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If it's new moon is the best time to align to it. And then we get into the full moon again toward the end of the month. So you can see we go kind of in thirds. We go full moon to new moon and then back to full moon to wrap up October. And that comes in on the 28th. So the end of October, right around Halloween, is going to be huge for getting things out of your life, Libra, that you don't want. And if any of this has confused you, or you just like a little visual aid, a little bit of clarity, I would like you to check out the moon cycles. It is on my website. I update the calendar every month for you guys. It is free. It is always free. It is parked on my Talking About page, and you can find the moon cycle cheat sheet on there. It shows you how these energies move in and out. Now let's do your work and finance. We'll save that love one for last. Work and finance I like to read together because they are very intertwined for most people. For work, they show here getting over being a little beaten up. I don't know if that's literal. Some of you may actually be physically hurt from work, or got your feelings hurt, or just been put through the ringer, and man, you've just had a crazy August and September, and you feel a little tired, you're a little beaten up. And that's what they show here. Maybe mentally, maybe the body, but it's in the work corner, so it's kind of open. So getting over being injured or being beaten up is much better than going into it. And that's what they show here. You guys are kind of coming out of it here with something with work. And for a lot of you, there's a really nice omen here coming in with new money. We have Ace of Pentacles. That is new coin, new coinage, new money. There's really not a lot of other ways to read that. So it's new opportunity. It could be new opportunities too. In the work corner, and the work corner is a big place, guys. I guess I should have probably led off with that. But it's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement. If you're of that age, the stuff that you used to do, that you used to put the time into work, well, what do you do now with it? For some people, it's hobbies and interests, and also collegiate courses, learning anything new, entrepreneurship. So you can see a very large corner. So whatever you got going on, for most people, it's a JOB. But whatever you got going on there is what they're talking about here. So they talk about new money, and they talk about getting over, getting beaten up. So hopefully the hard work, guys, is starting to pay off for you. And it looks like October is when that coin starts eking into your month. Little birthday present. So the next thing we show here as we get into your financials, we have the hoarder card. Now the hoarder card basically means hanging on to something for too long, being a hoarder. It's basically Spirit's way of saying, stop being a hoarder. Hey, let's open this up a little bit. So you guys are getting permission from Spirit to spend here or to buy something maybe that you've been waiting to buy. I wouldn't go and buy something just because I said this, and go spend money just because I said this. But if it's something that you need, that you've been waiting for, or something like that, Spirit could very well be telling you here that the timing is good right now. That's the first thing that comes up. Now, the next thing we're seeing here is we got somebody else who doesn't agree with that. There's somebody else here that is upside down here, and more than likely it is a male, or it is masculine force, a very strong female if it's a female, but usually this is just a biological male that they're talking about here, and he is upside down. Maybe it's your boss at work that doesn't want you to do something else with work or some kind of spending with work. For some of you, it's your significant other that is not very happy. Hey, we need to save. We don't need to be spending on this, or somebody in control of your money or something like that, right? So just letting you know that they're upside down. They're not going to be part of this or not really be a big fan of it. Okay, so that's just something that you're going to have to skate. The other thing they show here for your finances is that we have action going backwards. We have more mental action going backwards. So they want you to consider steps that you've taken financially in your past and implement that into your October. For example, maybe in the past you did something really good with stocks or 401k or setting up an account or maybe even closing an account. It can be subtraction too. Anyway, they want you to think about something that you did in the past that you can do again to really improve your finances. And they're bringing this up, guess what? In October, guys, October. Okay, so there goes that financial corner. Let's get into the ever famous, infamous love corner, guys. The first thing they talk about is action here, guys, especially in the workplace. For some of you guys, this is going to be a love type deal for my singles with somebody at work. Maybe taking steps with somebody at work. Maybe going backwards with somebody that you were at work with before, popping into your love corner. Love corner also a big place, guys, because anybody close to your heart can come in here. This can not be about romantic stuff at all. This can be about family. This can be about close friends, even pets. Speaking of pets, I got to tell you about my Pet Connect reading too. We'll get to that momentarily. One thing at a time, guys. They show you guys running backwards into the past here in the love corner. So there's some kind of action involved with that. It might not have anything to do with work, but since it is a wand card, it's my Knight of Wands, I have to at least address that in a general reading as a possibility. And good time to remind you that this is a general reading. We have a bunch of Libras tuning in. You guys are great. I love you all. However, nothing beats a personal, private reading where there are not all of your Libra friends sharing the same energy and the same cards with you. So private reading is the way to go. I have a wide variety of services available on my website, scottsagent.com. Something for everybody there. Check that out, guys. So the next thing they show in your love corner is really making a decision. A hard decision with this, like firm. I don't mean hard like it's hard to make necessarily, but it is a concrete, blowing the horn decision, like this is it and this is the way it is going to be. And now what shows after that is a little bit of unrest, a little bit of unsettlement up there coming in on the love corner. So maybe it is a hard decision. Maybe it is not something you necessarily want to do or say or let somebody down or whatever it is that they're referring to. Major decision to be made, and not everybody is necessarily going to enjoy that. It is my card of sickness and also kind of a mental strain. So it's very similar to what they talked about in the health corner slightly, but it can also have to do with sickness. So because they're talking about that and because it's about family and friends, you might be around some sickness in this month of October. Maybe your kid gets sick. Maybe your significant other gets sick. Maybe your best friend gets sick, and you're like, oh man, I live close to these people, or I'm supposed to be around these people all the time. Maybe somebody at work, right? Something like that. So just be cautious about that. There's only so much distance you can create between your close loved ones and stuff like that. But sickness is coming in up in your love corner, and since they're all a part of that, it can be about them just as much as about you. But the judgment and making the decision, that feels like something different up here, and that is all about you. Same thing with the action going backwards. That can also be, I guess, somebody else too, but it has to do directly with you. Kind of all this stuff does. You're the main hub here. You're the common ground between all of everything that we're reading between. Okay, Libra, I am jumping in your reading here, perhaps a little awkwardly, because I didn't tell you about Pet Connect. I want to tell you about it because I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't. There is a brand new promo video out, so I'm just going to keep this short within 30 seconds here for you. I want you to check out the promo video so you can see people's reactions to the Pet Connect reading directly. But Pet Connect, long story short, I get asked all the time, can we connect with our pets? They have a lasting impression on our hearts. And whether they live long, fulfilled lives or are taken from us way too early, it's all the same. As far as can we connect with them? Are they in heaven? The short answer to that is yes, through the Pet Connect service, and I want you to check out that video, so please do that. The promo video is massively going to blow your mind, guys. But Pet Connect at an introductory rate too. I just debuted it last month, so it is brand new, still being offered at that great rate, so do not miss that. Now let's get back to your reading. So there we go, very good. Now I'm going to grab that Rune Stone while I'm looking at everything. They're already mixed up. I'll give it one more swirl. Good time to remind you too, guys, that this 4-corner spread that I'm doing here today, this is a part of all of my 30 to 60 minute service readings. I do this first. It gives me like a Polaroid snapshot of what is going on in your life, things that we can direction from spirit to see like where we need to go with things and what's going on. So the 4 corners, if you like this spread, it is included with every 30, 60 minute reading that I do for free. I don't even start the timer until I go over everything with you. So anyway, the Rune Stone here for you is this one here, and it is a good rune stone for my Libras. It is a harvest month, guys. It is time to collect. We talked about that in the work corner there with the Ace of Pentacles, that new coinage. It is time to collect from that work that you've done. Hey, you've been beaten up. You've been put through the ringer with work. Well, guess what? Now it's time to harvest. Now it is time for that payback. And that can affect those finances too. And we talk about opening up that pocketbook and making that action. Whether the other person or whoever they're talking about here likes it or not, we have harvest there, guys. So good time to collect. Good time to get paid back for things too, and money and so forth. Harvest over here in the health corner is really taking inventory on your mental health. As long as you check in with that, very good. It's coming in fine. Quick action too. So you guys got to get on the ball with this if you're slacking there. And then harvest up here in that love corner. The decision is probably the basis of the harvest. Okay, so sometimes, for example, if this is a tough decision that they're talking about there, the harvest can be knowing when the crops are dead, okay? Knowing when you don't collect the harvest. That's just as important, because guess what? Then you got to re-sow the fields, you got to dig everything up, and you got to start over again. But it's still part for your next harvest, so it's part of the cycle. So there's a cyclical harvest that they wanted to talk about for you, for my great Libras, in the month of October. So there we go, scooting right along. Did your moons and your runes. Now let's get into some chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking I do ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time with the card work. So we just talk about my list here, and Libra was one of three of my signs. So about 33% of all my signs got this dilemma that we got going on here. And this was the same sign as last month for you guys too, but a different dilemma. So here's what it is. Libra, you guys are weakly attracted to, maybe repelled from, Aquarius in the month of October. The vibe might be a little off, a little segmented, a little weird energy between you and Aquarius. And look at what happened here. Libra, your strong connection is also to Aquarius. So what does that mean? What did Spirit just do there? They're basically saying that there is no middle ground. There is no gray area. It is going to be, if you have Aquariuses in your life, it is going to either be so great, it's wonderful, rainbow and bubblegum, or it's going to be so off that, man, we just cannot see eye to eye on anything. We cannot agree for the life of us here in this month of October. What is going on? So that is the dilemma between you and Aquarius. And a few of those signs, like I said, got that same thing from Spirit, where they said it's a weak as well as a strong, where it is going to be polarizing. It is going to be maybe a little bipolar in certain parts. Maybe it's day to day. Maybe sometimes you and your Aquarius compadres here, your close friends or whoever they're referring to, are great, and maybe the next day you're not. And maybe a week after that, we go back to great again. So anyway, it's very vacillating, but it is very polarized. There is no extra spread, so we just dump back into your homily, which will conclude your reading. Hey guys, Scott Sagent here, and it is time for your homily 2023 October edition. Today I want to talk a little bit about a realization I had, kind of an inspiration through a tarot card, and it was the Three of Wands. I'm going to float a little picture of it up on the screen here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Three of Wands from what I call my brown tarot deck. I think it depicts the picture very well, and I'm doing the background here to try to match the energy of that as well here for you too. So anyway, this realization I had is that this woman looking out on the edge of a waterway, maybe in some decks it's a cliff, basically the end of your property, looking out to what chapter is next. It also has to do about chapters in your life. So what is coming next for you? And it made me realize how many people actually don't do things. We wait until the right time to do things. Well, as Buddha says, the mistake that people make is thinking that they have time. And, I terribly misquoted that, I'm sure, but you get the gist, is people put things off and then they end up never doing it. If you go and ask anybody who's successful in a business or who's, gone back to school to take accreditation for a credit course or something they need for college or a master's degree or something like that, anybody who's gone back and done the work, if you go and ask them, hey, do you wish you would have waited to do that a little bit longer? Or do you wish you would have done it earlier? They're either going to tell you that they're happy they did it when they did it, or they wish they would have done it earlier. There's almost nobody who says, oh, you know what? I wish I would have taken that dream trip to Europe, a few years after the fact that I did it. No, most people would have liked to have gone earlier. Maybe they found something they really liked there and would really like to go back and see again. Well, that never happens if you wait for too long, right? And it's just like another silly example, of course, but it's I just discovered a new restaurant nearby my house that I really like. It's actually like a Oriental buffet, and in my head I'm just thinking, yeah, no, all the buffets are the same. They're similar. They're almost all, a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but overall it's the same idea, same concept. Well, I went and I tried this place, and it blows everything else away that I've ever eaten in the area. So this is something, for example, if I had discovered this Oriental buffet the last couple weeks of when I was living in the town that I'm living in, I would have been very upset. I'd be like, oh man, I could have been coming here this whole time. I could have been coming here for years. And instead, I missed this opportunity because I just waited forever. And it's just like so many people want to start businesses and never do. I know somebody who wanted to make candles. They go and buy all the supplies, have everything ready to make a candle business, and then never made a single candle. And it's just like, why? Why wait for the opportune time that may or may not ever come? And just like this card is showing this woman looking out onto the, expanse of the horizon, what is next? Well, what next for you is what's important for you. And the only thing that I would try to encourage from this homily is to not wait for too long, because you never know the timing. The timing sometimes has to be better than it does. If the timing is way off, of course, that's a different deal. But for most people, the timing's either they're unsure of it for other reasons. Maybe they're holding themselves back. That's what happens most of the time. We are our own worst enemies at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you also need to take risks. You need to do things while you still have the time. And the time is now if you're thinking about it right now. And that's even further reiteration of why you need to go and do things somewhat presently. You don't want to wait for too long. You never know what's going to change between now and then. If you want to go start a business, go start a business. If you want to go start a gym membership or go start a new health kick, go do that. Don't just wait around forever to do it. Wait for the right time. Sometimes you just got to take that little leap of faith. And of course, it is never too late in life. But remember that it is also never too early. So I hope you've enjoyed your homily. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading as well. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these every single month. Take care. Have a great October. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.